The final choice. The asteroid system was silent now, the mist curling around jagged rocks, hiding the station from prying eyes. But Alex knew it was only a matter of time before the Karad found them again. He tightened his grip on the controls, scanning the shadows, the baby safe in Lyra's arms, unaware of the danger that surrounded them. They won't stop, Lyra whispered, her voice steady but low, eyes fixed on the stars. They want what my husband left behind. They will kill anyone who protects it. Alex nodded, understanding the stakes. The secret they held was more than information. It was power, enough to change the galaxy. A sudden alert blared, and the sensors picked up multiple ships, fast, organized. The Karad had tracked them. Alex's heart raced, but he did not panic. He had a plan, and this time he would not just hide, he would fight and protect his family. Lyra, we have no choice, he said firmly. We confront them, but we do it our way. She nodded, a flash of courage in her eyes, gripping the baby tightly, the trust between them unspoken but unbreakable. The Karad ships appeared from the shadows, sleek and deadly, weapons ready, their leader broadcasting a cold, mechanical voice. Hand over the child and the secret, and perhaps we will spare you. Alex clenched his fists, anger flaring. We will never surrender, he shouted, and the battle began. Energy beams cut through the asteroid mist. The station rocked violently, alarms screaming. Alex maneuvered with skill, dodging fire while Lyra guided their counterattacks. The baby cried, and Alex whispered, "It's okay. We are with you." His voice calm but fierce. Lyra's hands moved swiftly, targeting weak points in the Karad ships, her knowledge of their tactics precise. Alex marveled at her courage. The widow who had once hidden in fear now led the fight beside him, protecting the child with all her strength. Then the leadership broke formation, closing in on the station, weapons charged, ready to destroy everything. Alex realized the choice they had to make. He could flee and survive, leaving the secret behind, or he could fight, risking everything to keep the family and the knowledge safe. He looked at Lyra, the baby in her arms, and made his decision. "We fight," he said, and she nodded, understanding immediately, courage burning in her eyes, the bond between them stronger than fear. The station surged forward, shields glowing, weapons firing in a coordinated strike. Alex used every maneuver, every trick he knew. Lyra guided the targeting systems, and together they struck the Karad leader. The ship rocked, sparks flying, and finally, with a final energy blast, the enemy ship exploded, the rest retreating in fear and confusion. Silence returned to the asteroid field, broken only by the hum of the station. Alex slumped in his seat, exhausted but alive. Lyra held the baby close, tears streaming down her face. "We made it," she whispered, and Alex smiled, looking at them, the family he had chosen, the life he had fought to protect. He knew the Karad would return someday, but for now, they were safe. The secret remained with them, and a bond had been forged that no enemy could break. Humanity, courage, and love had triumphed against the darkness of the galaxy. As the stars shone quietly outside the station, Alex took a deep breath, holding Lyra and the baby, knowing that together they could face anything, and that sometimes the greatest victories were not in weapons or battles, but in protecting the ones you loved. And in that silent, calm moment, the burned ship, the lost widow, and the innocent baby were no longer alone, for they had found a human who became their family, their shield, their hope. The hidden truth. The asteroid system loomed ahead, jagged rocks floating in silence, mist swirling around them. Alex piloted the station carefully, weaving between massive asteroids, shields straining against the debris. Lyra held the baby close, her silver blue eyes scanning the dark void outside, alert for any sign of danger. "Do you think they can find us here?" she asked quietly, her voice tight with fear. Alex shook his head. "Maybe. But this gives us a chance to fight, or at least hide long enough to plan," he said, knowing that every second mattered. The Karad were relentless, and time was their enemy. Inside the station, the baby slept, unaware of the danger surrounding him. Alex watched him for a moment, a small smile crossing his face. This tiny life had become the center of his universe, the reason he could not fail. He would not let anyone harm them. Lyra's hands trembled as she touched the console. Alex noticed her hesitation. "What is it?" he asked, moving closer. She swallowed hard. "My husband. He left something behind. A secret. Something they want. I hid it before they could take it." Alex's eyes widened. "Where? What is it?" She shook her head. "I can't tell yet. It's too dangerous. If they knew, they would come even faster." Alex understood. The galaxy was full of secrets, and some were worth killing for. He had to trust her, and he did, because right now, survival depended on them being smart, cautious, and daring. Suddenly, the station's sensors picked up movement, fast, precise. The Karad were closing in, their ships weaving through the asteroid field, hunting like predators. Alex activated the stealth systems, but he knew it might not be enough. He needed a plan that went beyond hiding. "Can you do it?" he asked Lyra, her hands hovering over the controls. She nodded slowly. "I know their patterns. I know their weaknesses." Alex felt a surge of hope. They had a chance, not just to survive, but to fight back. As the Karad fleet entered the field, Alex maneuvered the station, dodging asteroids, using the shadows and mist to hide. Lyra guided the targeting systems, striking ships that came too close, their teamwork precise. The baby gurgled softly, oblivious to the chaos. But then, a massive explosion rocked the station, throwing Alex to the floor. Panels sparking, fire spreading, and through the haze, Lyra's face was pale but determined. She whispered, "We can't stop now. We have to protect the secret." Alex nodded, helping her steady the controls, and together they struck back. The Karad ships faltering as their formation broke under their unexpected strategy. Amid the chaos, Alex realized something crucial. The secret Lyra protected was more than just data or treasure. It was knowledge that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. And if the Karad found it, countless lives would be at risk. He looked at Lyra, her face set with determination, holding her child close, and he understood the truth. They were more than survivors. They were a family, and families fight together, protect each other, no matter the odds. The last Karad ship broke off, damaged, retreating into the void. For now, the immediate danger had passed, but the threat remained, looming, waiting for a mistake. Alex took a deep breath, helping Lyra tend to the station, their bond stronger than ever, the baby safe between them. And in that quiet, dangerous moment, Alex whispered to Lyra, "We will survive, and we will find the truth." She nodded, her eyes glimmering with hope, fear, and determination, knowing that the next battle would come, and they would face it together. The first battle. The enemy fleet loomed larger now, dark silhouettes cutting through the blackness of space. Alex gripped the control panel, his fingers flying over the buttons, energy shields glowing red as the first pulses of fire hit the station. Alarms screamed, the walls shook, and the baby whimpered, sensing the danger. Lyra held the baby tightly, her body trembling, but she did not cry. She had faced death before, and this time, she would survive with him. Alex glanced at her, giving a small nod, a silent promise that he would protect them both. And she held on to that hope, fragile as it was. The enemy ships were fast, precise, and relentless, their weapons cutting through space with deadly accuracy. Alex fired the station's turrets, small energy blasts hitting some of the attackers, but they kept coming, and the shields began to flicker, the tension rising with every second. He remembered the burned ship, the sight of Lyra and her baby alone and scared, and it gave him strength. He could not fail them. Not now, not ever. Every system was pushed to its limit. The station groaned under the pressure, sparks flying from the walls. Lyra whispered softly, "I will help." And Alex froze, looking at her. "What? How?" She gestured toward the controls, her hands shaking, but determined. "I know their ships, their weapons. I have seen them before." Alex realized that Lyra's past was connected to the attackers. Her fear and knowledge could be their advantage. He nodded quickly, guiding her to the console, showing her how to redirect power to the weapons. Her eyes widened as she took control, and a strange determination settled over her. The baby nestled against her chest, oblivious to the chaos, trusting entirely in their guardians. Together, they fired coordinated blasts, striking the enemy ships with surprising accuracy. Alex maneuvered the station, dodging incoming G-fire. Every shot Lyra aimed seemed to find its mark, and slowly, the enemy fleet began to falter, their formation breaking, confusion spreading among them. But just as relief began to creep in, a massive explosion rocked the station, knocking both of them to the floor, panels sparking, alarms blaring louder than ever. The baby cried, and Alex quickly scooped it up, shielding it with his body. Lyra grabbed his arm, her eyes wide with fear and determination. "We can still win," she said, her voice strong despite everything. Alex felt a surge of pride. The alien widow, once so fragile, now fighting beside him. Understanding the stakes, he realized that humanity's strength was not in technology alone, but in courage, in trust, in fighting for those who could not fight themselves. Together, they were stronger than any fleet. The enemy, seeing the combined force of Alex and Lyra, hesitated, unsure of the human skill and the alien's knowledge. And in that moment, Alex made a bold decision. He would lead the station on a daring maneuver, weaving through asteroids, dodging fire, while Lyra continued to strike. their coordination flawless. As the last of the enemy ships retreated, damaged and confused, Alex exhaled, the tension slowly leaving him. Lyra hugged her baby tightly, tears running freely. But this time of relief, not fear, he looked at them, smiling, exhausted but victorious, knowing that this was only the beginning, but they had survived together. The stars outside seemed calmer now, the blackness less threatening, and in the small station, a new bond had been forged, stronger than metal, deeper than fear, a human and an alien, united by courage, by loss, and by the promise of protection. Shadows from the past. The galaxy was quiet again, the asteroid system holding them safely in its cold, rocky embrace. Alex had thought the Karad threat was over, but the universe had a way of reminding him that danger never truly ended. As he checked the station's systems, a flicker on the sensors caught his eye, a signal buried deep in the code, almost invisible. "Lyra," he called softly, motioning to the console. She came quickly, the baby in her arms. "What is it?" she asked, concern tightening her voice. Alex studied the reading. "It's not them, at least not yet, but someone else is tracking us. Someone from your husband's past." Lyra froze, eyes widening, fear mingled with anger. "I thought he had erased all traces. Who could it be?" Before Alex could answer, a faint transmission cut through, distorted, but familiar, a voice that sent shivers down their spines. "Lyra, the secrets are not gone. They never were." It ended abruptly, leaving only static. The baby cried, sensing the tension. Lyra gripped him tighter. "That voice, it was my husband's old partner. He warned us. He tried to protect me, but the Karad betrayed him." Alex's jaw tightened, realization hitting him. The secrets they carried were bigger than any of them imagined. "We need to move," he said firmly. "Find somewhere no one expects. Somewhere we can regroup." Lyra nodded, her hands shaking slightly, but determination in her eyes. She entered coordinates into the navigation system, aiming for a hidden nebula cluster. Dense clouds hiding movement, perfect for staying off sensors. As they traveled, Lyra finally spoke, her voice low but steady. "My husband discovered something. Something the Karad wanted, and others too. Knowledge about the core worlds. Information that could topple empires. If it fell into the wrong hands, the galaxy could burn." Alex's eyes widened, the stakes far greater than he imagined. This was no longer just about survival, it was about protecting the future. The station shuddered suddenly, a small but precise impact. Alex looked out to see a stealth ship emerging from the nebula. Too advanced, too fast, it was hunting them deliberately. He swore under his breath. "They found us." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "We can fight, but we need a plan." Alex scanned the asteroid field around the nebula, looking for a way to outsmart their pursuer. He realized a bold move could turn the tables. "We use the gravity wells of the asteroids, lure them into the field. They can't maneuver as easily." Lyra nodded, her hands steadying over the controls, ready to act. The chase began, energy blasts tearing through the nebula mist. The stealth ship advanced, but Alex's maneuvers were precise, dodging and weaving, the Karad's allies struggling to follow. Lyra fired the station's defense turrets, targeting weak points, and the small team worked seamlessly, moving as one. In the chaos, a message from the mysterious partner came again, guiding them through the nebula, revealing paths and secrets hidden for decades. Alex realized that even in the darkest shadows, allies could emerge, unexpected and invaluable. After tense moments of strategy and daring flight, the pursuer was trapped in the asteroid field, engines failing, the stealth ship drifting helplessly. Alex and Lyra breathed deeply, knowing the danger was not over, but for now, they had survived, stronger, smarter, and more united than ever. Lyra held the baby, whispering softly, "We are still a family. We fight together. We survive together." Alex smiled, looking at them, the bond between them unbroken, and he knew that whatever the galaxy threw at them next, they would face it as one. Shadows of the past. The next morning the station was quiet, but the air felt heavy. Alex moved through the corridors, checking systems and supplies. The baby slept in Lyra's arms, her silver blue skin glowing faintly in the morning light. She watched him carefully, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear and curiosity. She had never trusted anyone so quickly, but he had saved her life, and that bond could not be broken. Alex studied the star charts, trying to understand where the burned ship had come from, where Lyra had been before the explosion. The sensors showed no nearby patrols, yet something told him this was not random. Someone had targeted her deliberately, and the galaxy was full of those who hunted the weak. Lyra finally spoke, her voice hesitant but steady. "They are coming," she said, the words barely audible. Alex froze, staring at her. Who is coming?" She shook her head, tears forming again. "I cannot say. They will find me." The fear in her voice was real, raw, and Alex knew she was telling the truth. He realized that saving them was only the beginning. The galaxy itself seemed to hold a secret about Lyra and her baby. He needed answers, but questions could bring danger. He would have to be careful. Every move watched, every word could be traced. As the hours passed, the baby stirred, hungry and restless. Alex fed it while Lyra rested, her hands trembling slightly as she stroked its head. Alex thought about his own childhood on Earth, small, fragile, and often alone. He understood now the weight of responsibility, protecting life in a galaxy that often did not care. Suddenly, the station's alarm blared, a harsh, shrieking sound that cut through the quiet. Alex jumped, heart pounding, rushing to the control room. The screen showed a small fleet approaching, sleek ships with dark hulls moving fast and silent. Their patterns were precise, professional, no mistake about it. They were here for Lyra. Alex's mind raced. He activated the shields and armed the defensive systems, but he knew that fighting them would be risky. The station was small, and their firepower limited. He needed another plan, one that relied not on weapons, but on strategy and quick thinking. Lyra watched from the corner, gripping the baby, panic rising. Alex moved to her. "Stay calm," he whispered. "We have a plan." She nodded, but her trust was fragile. One wrong move and it could shatter completely. He sent out a silent signal, hoping for allies in nearby sectors. The fleet moved closer, scanning for life signs. Every second stretched into eternity. Alex thought about the burned ship, about the family he had found in the wreckage, and about the promise he had made. He would not let them die. The first ships began to fire, small energy pulses bouncing off the shields. The station shook, alarms blaring. Alex's hands flew over the controls, dodging attacks, redirecting power, all while keeping Lyra and the baby safe. In the chaos, Lyra's eyes met his, a silent understanding passing between them. He was not just her protector, he was her hope, and she had to be brave too. Together they could survive, maybe even turn the tide. As the fleet closed in, Alex whispered to himself, "I will not fail them." And for the first time, he felt a surge of something stronger than fear, determination, the kind that changed ordinary humans into heroes, the kind that could make the galaxy remember a single human who refused to let others die. The first night, the alien widow, whose name was Lyra, barely slept that night, her baby nestled safely in Alex's arms. The small ship hummed softly around them, but the silence felt heavy. Every creak of the metal made her flinch. She had lost everything, her home, her ship, and her husband. Now she was in a strange place, with a human she barely knew. Alex moved quietly, not wanting to wake the baby, but he could feel Lyra's eyes on him. He glanced over, offering a small nod, a gesture that said, "You are safe here." She hesitated, then whispered, "Thank you." Her voice soft and trembling. Alex didn't reply, only smiled slightly, knowing words were not enough. Outside, the station's lights flickered over the blackness of space, distant stars glittering like tiny beacons. Alex watched them through the window, his mind racing. The galaxy was a dangerous place, and now he had 2 more lives to protect. He thought about the burned ship, the fire, and the forces that might still be looking for Lyra. He could not ignore it. He moved to prepare a small room for her, a cot and some blankets, and tried to make it feel safe. But Lyra refused to leave his side. The baby clutched his jacket as if sensing her fear. Alex realized something important. Trust could not be demanded. It had to be earned. Slowly, night after night, he would build that bond. A sudden alarm blinked red on the console, sensors picking up movement outside. Alex froze, careful not to alarm Lyra. The station's perimeter showed a small shuttle drifting nearby. Its design unfamiliar, sleek, almost predatory. Alex's heart raced. Who could be here now, after everything that had happened? He quietly moved Lyra and the baby to a safer corner, his hand gripping the small pistol at his side. The shuttle was scanning the station, its lights sweeping like the eyes of a predator. Alex whispered, "Stay calm, don't make a sound." Lyra nodded, clutching her baby tightly. The moment stretched, time slowing, every second feeling like a year. Finally, the shuttle moved away, its intentions unclear. Alex exhaled, relief and worry mixing in his chest. He realized the galaxy would not leave them alone. Lyra's past had a shadow, and it was reaching into the present. The baby stirred, crying softly, and he scooped it up, rocking gently, soothing the small life that depended entirely on him. Lyra watched quietly, her hands resting on the baby. Alex noticed her trembling, not from fear alone, but from exhaustion, grief, and loss. He knew he had to do more than protect them physically. He had to give them hope, a reason to live again, in a galaxy that had shown them only fire and ruin. That night, as the station hummed with life, Alex sat with the baby in his lap, Lyra beside him, a strange family forming in the emptiness of space. He whispered softly to the alien widow, "We will be okay, together." She didn't reply, but her eyes softened, a spark of trust flickering, small, fragile, but enough to begin. Outside, the stars continued their silent watch, the galaxy vast and cold, but within the tiny station, warmth grew. A light born from courage and kindness. Alex knew the real challenge was just beginning. Protecting them was not enough. He had to understand their enemies, their past, and somehow make them a home in the stars. And for the first time, Lyra allowed herself to believe, just a little, that maybe survival did not have to mean loneliness, that maybe a human could be more than a stranger, that maybe a burned ship was not the end, but the start of something new. The burned ship. The stars were cold and silent that night, the void stretching endlessly around the small human ship drifting near the edge of the asteroid belt. Alex, the human pilot, was scanning the wreckage with his binoculars. The sensors showed only fire, smoke, and broken metal. Something had exploded, and the wreck was still warm. He felt a strange chill, not from the cold, but from the emptiness of space. He activated the emergency thrusters and slowly approached the burned ship. The metal hull was blackened and twisted, smoke rose in thin curls, and Alex could see signs of life. Or what little remained. He docked carefully, his heart beating faster. He knew space accidents were common, but something about this felt different. Inside the ship, everything was destroyed. Panels hung loose, wires sparkled like tiny stars, and the air was thick with smoke. Moving carefully, Alex saw a small shadow under a fallen crate. He crouched down, and there she was, an alien woman with silver-blue skin, tears streaking her face, and in her arms, a tiny baby, crying weakly. She was alive, but barely. Alex's training kicked in. He knew he had to act fast. The baby needed oxygen, and the woman needed medical help. He gently lifted the baby from her arms, wrapping it in his jacket, and pulled the woman into a safer corner. Her eyes were wide, staring at him, fear and hope mixed in a strange way. She whispered something in a language he didn't understand, but her meaning was clear. She needed help. He turned on his medkit and tried to calm the baby. The small hands grasped his finger, tiny and fragile. Alex felt a strange connection, like he had been waiting for this moment without knowing it. He checked the woman's wounds, burns covered her arms, and a deep gash on her leg needed immediate attention. He worked quickly, cleaning the wounds and applying bandages, all while keeping an eye on the smoke. Outside, the stars seemed quieter, as if the universe itself was holding its breath. The ship could explode at any moment, but Alex ignored the danger, focusing only on them. He whispered softly, "You're safe now." The woman flinched at his voice, then slowly relaxed, letting him guide her and the baby to his own ship. The journey back was tense. Every passing asteroid reminded him of the fragility of life. The woman held her baby close, her eyes never leaving Alex, and he could feel her fear, but also her trust. She didn't know him, yet she relied on him completely. It was a bond formed in seconds, but felt like it had existed for years. When they arrived at his small space station, Alex helped them inside, offering food and water. The baby drank quickly. The woman watched silently, exhausted but alive. For the first time in hours, she seemed to relax, letting her tears fall freely. Alex sat nearby, unsure of what to say, but knowing words were not needed, action spoke louder than language. He thought about the galaxy outside, full of dangers, wars, and strangers, but in that moment he realized something. Humanity's strength was not just in weapons or ships, but in the ability to care, to save, to protect those in need. The alien widow and her baby were now part of his world, and he would do everything to keep them safe. The fire outside slowly faded, the wreckage burning out in the cold vacuum. But inside Alex's ship, a new light was born, fragile but strong. A new family, formed not by blood, but by courage, compassion, and the will to survive. He didn't know what the future held, but he knew one thing: they would face it together. Secrets of the core worlds. The nebula's swirling colors hid the station like a cloak. Alex piloted cautiously, scanning every shadow, every signal. The baby asleep in Lyra's arms, the tension in the station almost tangible. Lyra's eyes were fixed on the consoles, hands moving over controls with purpose. She knew that the hidden partner's messages were their only guide through the coming storm. "Alex, we need to hear him," Lyra said, her voice steady. "He knows the truth, the core worlds, the reason they hunt us. It is bigger than the Karad." Alex nodded, knowing she was right. He activated the communication link, and the partner's distorted face appeared on the screen, eyes sharp, voice calm but urgent. Lyra, Alex, the Karad did not act alone. The secret your husband found could change the balance of the galaxy. Core world's knowledge, locations, technology. It is power that everyone wants. Alex leaned closer, trying to absorb the weight of the information. We need to protect it, he said, determination firm in his voice. The baby stirred, sensing the seriousness. Lyra's hands tightened around him. Yes. If it falls into the wrong hands, countless lives will be lost. We cannot let that happen. The partner continued, there is a hidden archive. Ancient, protected. Only someone your husband trusted could access it. It contains plans, maps, and data about the core worlds. You must reach it before anyone else. Alex swallowed, the mission now clear, the danger immense, but he would not let fear stop him. Lyra traced the coordinates, hidden in the partner's message. They led to a remote, uncharted asteroid, a fortress carved into stone, shields shimmering with energy fields. Alex's heart raced. He knew the Karad and their allies would also seek it. Time was against them. Every second counted. As they approached, stealth systems active, they could see drones pat. Rolling the outer perimeter, Alex whispered, we go in quietly. No alert. We cannot fight all at once. Lyra nodded, determination shining, her silver blue eyes fierce, the baby in her arms safe. For now, inside the fortress corridors were dark, twisted, ancient markings glowing faintly on walls. Lyra's fingers traced symbols, whispering, this was my husband's work. He left clues. Only we can unlock it. Alex followed, every sense alert, footsteps silent, hearts racing. They reached the archive door, massive, etched with alien scripts, energy barriers humming. Alex examined the control panel. Lyra inserted the hidden key her husband had given her. Lights flickered, barriers lowering slowly. The door slid open with a hiss, revealing rows of glowing consoles, holographic maps of core worlds floating in the air. The knowledge was overwhelming, power in their hands, the kind that could topple empires, reshape alliances, and bring peace or chaos depending on who controlled it. Alex looked at Lyra, seeing fear, awe, and responsibility in her eyes. He whispered, we must protect this, no matter what comes next. Suddenly, sensors blared, shadows moving outside. They were not alone. Alex grabbed Lyra's hand. They found us. Again, he said, his jaw set. But this time we know the way. We have the knowledge, and we fight smart. Lyra nodded, baby secured. Together, she said, their bond unbroken, stronger than any enemy. The knowledge of the core worlds now in their hands, but the true test was still ahead. The galaxy's most dangerous forces were closing in, and they would stop at nothing to take it. As the fortress's lights glimmered, Alex and Lyra prepared for the coming storm, knowing that their courage, strategy, and love would be tested like never before, and that only together could they survive, protect the secret, and secure the future of the galaxy. The final stand. The fortress glowed under the nebula's pale light, Alex and Lyra standing side by side, the baby asleep between them, their hearts beating in sync. But outside, the shadows of the galaxy's most dangerous forces closed in. They had come for the core world's archive, for the knowledge that could tip the balance of power forever. Alex tightened his grip on the station's controls, scanning incoming ships, their numbers far greater than anything he had faced before. Lyra's hands hovered over the consoles, ready to unleash defense systems, her calm focus hiding the storm of fear inside. We cannot let them take it, she said softly, voice firm, eyes flashing with determination. We survive, together. The first wave hit, energy beams slicing through the nebula mist. The fortress shook violently, alarms screaming. Alex maneuvered with precision, dodging attacks, returning fire. Lyra coordinated the defense turrets, every shot aimed to disable, not destroy, preserving the fortress's integrity. Then the enemy leader appeared, a Karad warlord enhanced with cybernetic armor, towering over their ships, voice booming through the comms, surrender the archive, or be destroyed. Alex's jaw set. We will never surrender, he replied, calm but fierce, the baby stirring at the sound, sensing the tension. Lyra activated the archive's protective systems, barriers rising, energy shields weaving through the corridors, hiding the core world's secrets. Alex guided ships through asteroid debris, using gravity wells and nebula clouds as cover. The fight was brutal, fast, relentless, every second a test of skill and courage. The warlord's fleet pressed harder, breaking through outer defenses. Alex and Lyra's teamwork seamless, Lyra feeding targeting coordinates, Alex piloting the station like a master, dodging, striking, and luring enemies into traps, the baby's soft cries. A reminder of what they were fighting for. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the station, alarms blaring, the warlord's flagship firing a massive energy blast. Alex's instincts took over. He maneuvered the station into the shadow of a massive asteroid. The blast deflected harmlessly. Lyra's fingers danced over the controls, sending countermeasures to disable the enemy fleet. The warlord's ship was vulnerable now. Alex lined up a perfect shot, energy cannons charged. He whispered, "For the family," and fired. A beam of pure energy struck the flagship, disabling engines, shields down, the Karad leader drifting helplessly. Alex smiled grimly. It's over. The remaining enemy ships retreated, their numbers shattered, the nebula quiet once again. Alex and Lyra exhaled, tension leaving their bodies. Lyra held the baby close, tears streaking her face. "We did it. We survived. We are safe," she whispered. And Alex nodded, feeling a rare moment of peace. They walked through the archive, the holographic maps of the core worlds glowing softly, knowledge safe in their hands. Alex looked at Lyra, seeing courage, wisdom, and love, stronger than any weapon, stronger than any enemy. "We protected it, together," he said, and she smiled, the baby giggling softly, sensing the safety and warmth. In that moment, the fortress, the burned ship, the dangers they had faced, all became a story of hope, courage, and family. Humanity had triumphed, not through numbers or machines, but through determination, love, and sacrifice. The galaxy would never forget the human who saved an alien widow and her child. As the stars shone above, Alex held Lyra and the baby, the core world's secrets safe. The Karad threat ended for now, and the family finally knew they were truly together, not just surviving, but thriving, ready to face whatever the galaxy sent next, knowing that as long as they had each other, nothing could break them.